So, back to the technology show. It is the technology show where we translate geek into regular speak. I'm Brett Levy. I'm your host this week. Apologies for the late start. I think there would have been a message that went out to say that we're going live like we normally do at 2. It was African time, so it was 2-ish. A little bit of a technical hiccup on my side. A shout out to Kylie and her family. Unfortunately, she's not here with me today to help produce, so hopefully I've got it under control and the sound and everything else is coming through. Anyway, exciting show today. I'm super stoked. I have a guest again. I'm actually making this quite a good habit, so hopefully I can keep it rolling and keep bringing some interesting people in. With that, of course, it means I do need to change things up, and that means that I have to switch around on how I normally do things and what I do and what I don't do. But then again, I never really stick to what I'm supposed to do anyway. So let's get into it. If we can bring this up, taking it to presentation mode, and off we go. So we'll start with tech news today. New salt discovery makes batteries last 10 times longer. So a team in KAUST, which is the King Abdullah University of Science and Technology, that was a mouthful, has made a major stride in battery longevity. They've discovered that adding affordable sulfate salts like zinc sulfate, not that I know what any of this stuff is, but anyway, it can dramatically reduce the harmful chemical reactions that degrade aqueous batteries. Why is this important for the show? Well, I asked that question when I read these notes. Basically, we can make rechargeable batteries last up to 10 times longer. So if you own an EV or have a lot of energy consumption, even if you think about homes, right, with solar energy, a lot of the homes have battery packs that are inside the house or inside the garage. This salt finding that they've done, or discovery, I think is the right word, can actually increase your battery life by 10 times. Now, when I discuss EVs, that's one thing that I always bring up. I love the concept of an EV. I hope to own one day. I just don't believe that I should buy a vehicle that 80% of its value is a battery pack that's going to last 8 years. So that's kind of where I'm waiting for the technology to get it better. So maybe the clever people at KAUST can share their salt discovery and we can make our batteries last longer. Next, okay, this is cool. So I'm staying with EVs. You're going to get a theme for the show today, but we'll get there. So electric air taxi has flown from one airport to another. Now, that sounds quite cool, but it's not as cool. Well, it is cool. So Vertical Aerospace, which is the company, have done the first EV toll. So an EV toll is an electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle. That's what it stands for. They've done the first commercial service and they flew 17 miles. I don't know what that is in kilometers. It's like 30 Ks, I think. And they got to speeds of 115 miles an hour. So that's what, like 180 Ks an hour? I don't know. You do the maths. And they got to 1,800 feet. That's pretty impressive. And it's the first manned fixed-winged airport-to-airport flight. If you're watching the show, you'll see a picture of it. So it's not a drone like that comes to mind for the people that are listening to the show. It's a fixed wing, like think aeroplane. It's got 4 props, but the whole thing is electric. So there's no jet engines or propeller engines or fuel or anything like that. It's a good sign. With Brisbane 2032 around the corner, we are talking about electric vehicles, eVTOLs flying us from like Gold Coast to Brisbane or Sunshine Coast down to Brisbane. As the crow flies, it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, it's something I'm definitely going to keep watching. Okay, this one I like. So connectivity and Internet of Vehicles. Now, I worked on a project called IoT when it first started, which was the Internet of Things. And I actually brought this up a few weeks ago as well on one of the shows. The idea of Internet of Things was to be able to make non-smart devices smart and or include them in the network. So if you've got a washing machine, you could put a little device on it that would talk to an Internet of Things. It's referred to as an edge. And then that would bring it into your smart home. This is no different. So now with the Internet of Vehicles, or IOV, along with 5G connectivity, there's a protocol called V2X, Vehicle to Everything. And this communication will now enable real-time data exchange between vehicles, between infrastructure, even pedestrians. So supporting smart navigation, traffic management, we could put groundworks down for smarter cities, smarter transport networks. The connected cars would basically allow for seamless infotainment, infotainment, remote diagnostics, enhanced data. So anything, when people say, "Oh, I don't want to get in a car that's driving itself," the IOV protocol or V2X protocol is what's going to make you feel better. Every single thing that's in that space will be talking to itself in real time. And of course, with 5G speeds, 6G is already being tested. In fact, 7G is being tested, but 6G is being tested in some of the Asian countries as we speak. Your watch, your phone will talk to the cars. The car will know that you're approaching the pavement. So before you step off, it's already contemplating needing to brake. It's really an exciting space to be in. It also makes it a lot easier for people that are developing technology to start designing for the connected environment. As a techie, it's pretty exciting that I'll actually be driving. Well, not driving, but physically sitting inside a computer on wheels. I mean, that's kind of what it comes to. I got a comment come up. I did my project on IoT powered fridge for my Google Squared course in 2016. I can't see the name of the LinkedIn user, but that's pretty damn cool. So yeah, that was IoT, right? So if you did that project, then for your fridge, well, start fixing cars. In fact, looking at this, I'm going to take a guess that that's a lawn because that's the kind of stuff he would get up to. Anyway, right. So moving along, what else we got? Tesla and Samsung. Well done, Samsung. And if you own Samsung shares, you've probably already seen the benefit of it. Samsung has inked a deal for 16.5 billion US to start supplying AI chips to Tesla. Now, I wonder if that deal's going to be the precursor to screens because Samsung screens are really good. In fact, Apple, I don't know if they still do, but Apple definitely used the Samsung screens in their iPhones once upon a time. But basically, all connectivity on board will now be powered by Samsung hardware. It's a bit weird though, if I think about it, because the whole thing with Tesla is it's made in America by Americans. This is a Korean chip, and I've got no problem with where the chip comes from. But that was his whole thing was that he was like supporting American jobs, and there must be American silicone manufacturers. So, but anyway, 16.5 billion. If you did have shares, that's awesome. You probably got a little nice early payday. Now, as I said to you, all these stories about vehicles and connectivity and cars and all that, it wasn't like just because I was feeling motory. As I said to you, I'm super excited today that I have a guest. I'm going to bring Joshua into the show. Let me just find out where to do that. There we go. So, Josh, we should have you there.
Hello.
There we go. Welcome to the show, Joshua.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So hopefully you appreciate that all of that was in prep for our little chat today.
Yeah, it's definitely it's super cool to see all the tech that's kind of being integrated and all the new things that are coming soon.
Awesome. Let me give a quick intro. So Joshua, you are the co-founder of My Drive Hero. It's an app. It's to encourage safer driving. I'm going to let you explain the why as to why you got to this. I'm going to just put us back into presentation mode and bring up a screen. Oh, there we are. There you, for those that aren't listening and watching. So I love this. Don't drive for free. So that we'll get into that aspect now as well.
Yeah.
But I think let's just take a step back, right? My Drive Hero is about safe driving and or not driving for free.
Yeah.
Take us through the journey, mate.
Yeah, 100%. My Drive Hero was founded by myself, Blake, and Rick.
Okay. Hey, Blake. Hey, Rick.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon. But basically, the reason why we started My Drive Hero is to combat the rising death toll. You know, the death toll keeps going up on the roads. And even though cars are getting smarter, even though all these other things are happening, it keeps rising. And Rick was actually the first person that thought we needed to do something. And that was in response to a young lady losing her life. So a young lady lost her life on a mine site. That's kind of his background.
Okay.
And he had a bunch of workers at the time, and he was like, well, that young lady could potentially be one of my workers. I want to be able to protect my staff. And along the way, it kind of went to, well, why don't, just instead of protecting my staff, why don't we protect everyone? And Blake and I came on board to really bring it to life. And now we've got, over 30,000 monthly active users across the country. Like you can see on that picture, I think we're up to like 185 million kilometers recorded.
Let's bring that picture up there.
With a 26% decrease in speeding and phone usage. So basically the way the app works is you get paid for driving, and the safer you drive, the more cash you get. So basically at the end of the trip, you can see where potentially the app picked up any speeding or using your phone. Those are the two metrics that we really hone in on, which are the two biggest killers on the road. And if you drive safe, you get cash. If you drive safer, you get more cash.
And I can attest to this. So first of all, the reason I actually came across the app and reached out as well, my son is on his L's. So as a parent, my biggest fear is that he's going to be out at night with his mates, and obviously, so he's on his L's. He wouldn't be driving by himself, but his mates on P's and or have just qualified. And I mean, let's be honest, right? That age demographic, you're 18 to probably 24, 25. Hence the reason insurance companies charge more. They are a bit reckless. So for me, it's a concern that he's on the road and there's other young people on the road and, they're doing stuff. So I kind of also did a little bit of a look and see what I could come across to monitor him. That's like how, we came across this. And I've put the app to the test. And I have to say that, so what we did, I got into the car with one of his mates and we fired up the app. Now, I don't know if it's because I warned him. I don't know if it's because dad was in the car and he wanted to behave. But we got 100% record. There was no distractions. There were no touching phones. There was no speeding. The speeding was, look, let's be honest, speed kills, right?
Yeah.
I know holding your phone, touching your phone, engaging with the phone also kills. I'm not saying it's the lesser evil, but I think at the end of the day, even before mobile phones, people died because they were speeding in cars because we didn't have phones. So, if we can reduce speeding, we're probably going to reduce a significant amount of road deaths. And I'm sure you have the stats to prove it. We can chat about that as well. But the app was awesome. You didn't have to do anything. It was just running in the background. What I did notice, so I put, sorry, to be carrying the story, that was going there. Coming back, I started playing with the phone. I started touching the phone. I was watching TikTok videos and all kinds of stuff. And we lost a lot of money. So on the way there, it was about a 60-kilometer ride. It was about a 60 cents or 80 cents banking, whatever it was. I don't know what the algorithm is. You can explain that. I think it was like 60 cents, right?
Yeah, you get $1 per 100 Ks if you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did 59 point something K, so 60 cents. So we got 60 cents.
Yeah.
Coming back, as I said, and this was my fault. This was definitely not Ethan's driving. Coming back, I think we got like 11 cents.
Yeah.
And it shows the metrics. It says you were touching your phone or you were distracted. There were three key metrics. I think that came with speed, distraction,
and then an overall score.
Okay. So we got penalized. So clearly it does work. And just by the way, for the listeners, on the screen, I've got it up here as well. My Drive Hero have been very generous. If you use the code MDH or H, as we say in Australia, so My Drive Hero, MDH, TechKnowledgy, all one word. And remember, we spell technology TECH, KNOWLEDGY. You'll get $1 just for putting it into the app. So, hey, don't say I don't give you anything besides brilliant shows and awesome content. So let's get back to the app, right? And the mechanics of the app. So you download the app, you put in all your demographics, and it's actually really cool, Josh. I have to say that the onboarding is quite clear. How often do you drive? I actually don't drive to work because it so happens. I live very close by, so I walk. But once you set up the app, you just turn it off. That's it, right? You don't have to think about it again. It runs in the back. You obviously have to give it permissions. So you have to allow it to run in the background and so on. And it prompts you to do that. And quite honestly, if you're going to be doing the app, if you're going to be installing the app, then you'd be stupid not to give it the permission. But hey, I did notice though that so to redeem, so once you've done the trip, it shows you like a trip. and then you have to bank it, and then that brings up adverts.
Yeah.
I think there were 3 adverts per trip.
Yeah.
Take us through that, because obviously you got to get money from somewhere to give us money. So
exactly.
how do the mechanics work?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people always ask us. They say this is too good to be true, or all these other things, and how does it work? And really, that's one of the key things that we do. So there's a couple of things that you can do within the app, and it all relates around that advertising. Advertisers work with us. They want to get in front of people. We give them a different way to do that, an exciting way to do that. And what better way to get your brand in front of someone than when we're just about to give them cash?
Yep.
So what we do is you play those ads, you watch those ads, and at the end of that, that's when you unlock your trip. Or if you don't want to watch ads, you can subscribe to premium, and you'll just be able to bank your trips instantly.
Right. So I saw that. So premium, there were 2 options. I think there was like $5 a month and $8 a month, or it's $5 a month if you pay for the year or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk us through, talk us through where it makes sense financially, right? So if you're earning $1 100 kilometers,
100%.
you'd need to be driving more than 500 Ks to make that worthwhile, or are there added benefits on premium that it's not just about the banking
on
money?
top of that, we also do some exclusive giveaways and a bunch of other stuff. But really, if you want to just get into the core nitty gritty, you need to be driving more than 500 Ks a month, which is like the Australian average is, well in excess of that. I think we're sitting at about 13 or 1400 Ks a month is the average in Aussie drives. So really, if you're doing you're sitting around that, you're getting a lot more than that. And then also, if you went the yearly, you'd be paying that back pretty quick. And then on average, our users tend to get around about that $20 to $25 a month straight from the app. And then the premium users also get some exclusive giveaways. Sometimes they get some exclusive discount codes and a whole bunch of other benefits for committing to supporting us as well and subscribing to premium.
Yeah. Look, I mean, it's great. And as I said, you watch 3 ads if you want to stay on the free tier. Which, I mean, if you're playing games on your phone, you should be quite used to being served ads anyway. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with an ad serve model. Let's talk a little bit about the added benefits. So I noticed on the app, and I don't know if I have it on my screen. I might have had a screenshot of it. No, I've cut it off, unfortunately. But you'll be able to go to the website and have a look-see as well. We'll put the website up as well. You mentioned the benefits. There was I'm just trying to describe it, right? So there's a whole section on your homepage. It shows you a summary, which is pretty cool, and like a little dial. And then below that was like
all the
sports
brands.
teams and correct. What are the additional benefits? Like, if you actually spend time on the app and go through some of those things, what is it that one's going to see? Like, how does it line up?
There's a whole bunch of different things that we're always looking at activating. So, for example, right now, we are partnered with the Melbourne Storm, and then through that, we're giving away a brand new car with Suzuki as well. So, Storm and Suzuki and My Drive Hero have all come together. We're giving away a brand new car to one lucky fan. So that's something that's really, really exciting. And those types of things kind of come and go. So over the past 3 years that we've been live and kind of cooking, we've given away free electricity for the year. We've given away free fuel for a year. We've given away a fair few cars, and doing another one right now. And it really just depends on those types of deals and advertisers and brands that we can get on board. On top of that, when you get those cash cards that you can redeem them with all your major brands. You've got Woolworths, you've got Coles, you've got EG and all those different guys, and that comes to us through like an exclusive cash card provider.
Okay.
And then we're really looking to kind of work deeper with these brands. If we can do different things alongside on top of the cash and everything else, those are the different things that we're working for, and that's what we spend a lot of our time kind of working towards. Bringing in more brands, bringing in more opportunities, so that way you just get more chances to use your cash.
Okay. Now, are these only available to premium users, or can anyone go into the draws, or how does that work?
For the draws themselves, it's available to everyone. Okay. Most of them are. Every now and again, we'll bring out draws that are exclusively for premium. Once again, it really depends on the draw itself. So, for example, about a couple months back, we did free electricity for the quarter. That was just for premium. But for example, the car giveaways, we like to make that for everyone.
Okay,
so it really depends on
which is good.
Draw.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty decent. Normally, that's what happens: is you get roped into something, and then it's you have to pay to play. So clearly, you don't have to pay to play. In fact, you're paying us to play. So that's awesome. I mentioned the return trip where I was on my phone and TikTok and everything else. That sparked something that I wanted to discuss with you.
Yeah.
What happens if I've now got the app, I've set up the app, and it's set and forget. It really is, right? Because it just records. And this actually happened to me. I was a passenger in the car and I was on my phone and I was
Yeah.
reading emails and I'm swiping and I'm doing all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. It wasn't a long trip. I literally went from like home to up the road.
Yeah.
My wife was driving. Um, when I selected the bank button, which is what you have to do when it brings up the ads,
Yeah.
I got a score of like, I don't know,
Yeah.
2% or
Quite
something.
low.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was terrible. I think it said you could have earned 11 cents and I got one.
Yeah.
I don't even know why you gave me the one because I was literally on my phone from the time I got in till the time I got out. But thanks for the 1 cent. How do you get around that? Because I don't know, I'm not going to remember
Yeah.
to turn off the app or not
Yeah.
turn on the app. Or what's the suggestion there? Because
Yeah.
if the listeners start downloading or and I'm sure it's going to happen to them when they're a passenger.
Yeah. I got two answers for you there. One of them
Okay.
on the 1 cent. So when we first brought out the app, we did it in the way where if you like really unsafe, you got nothing.
Okay.
And we had a bunch of negative feedback. You think about how
But they
much
deserve it, mate.
potentially. I mean, I can see it from both points of view. Like your driving habits and things are quite personal. I think we're still quite like people take pride in being a safe driver, or
Yeah.
people take pride in their driving. So at least if you always get something for your trip. And the
Okay.
reason why that is because this is the mark. This is where you're at. We need you to get better so you can get more cash. If we just give you nothing, we found a lot of people felt very negatively about that. They were like very upset.
Okay.
So that's why we do that. On the other note, we're looking into ways to do this passenger system. We've been brainstorming, going back and forth on it with the users. We've got a bunch of users. We use as test users as well as the team. Because if you think about it, if you have a passenger system, so maybe you say, tick, I was a passenger, and then you get your full amount of cash even though you're a passenger. Well, then whenever you drive unsafe, you would just tick, I was a passenger, I was a passenger, I was a passenger, I was a passenger. So how do we, and then, on the other end, we still want to give you something for being a passenger. So how do we navigate that in a way that, still allows you to have a passenger-like system, but at the same time, you don't just do that whenever you're not happy with the safety score and you're like, oh, I don't like this one, so I just want to get the full amount of cash. It's still something where it's definitely on the roadmap to do, but we're kind of going back and forth with how we execute it in a way that lets people know, hey, if you're a passenger or this and that, but at the same time, not something that can be abused on the other end.
I suppose it could be a pop-up, right? I mean, I think it's Waze. One of the driving apps pops up and it says, "Are you a passenger?" Because you're clearly doing something on your phone.
Yeah.
And you might be navigating, which I do quite regularly. If my wife's driving, I'll turn on maps.
Yeah.
And I'll say, "I'll go here, turn there, left, right, or whatever."
Yeah.
Maybe if a pop-up came up and said, "Well, you've detected motion, like continual motion. Are you a passenger?"
Yeah.
Yes. And then, then that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to do the roadmap, but it just was something that I was thinking about because more often than not, I am a passenger.
Yeah.
I generally don't drive.
Yeah.
I don't need to.
Yeah.
But equally, I can definitely see the value in this. If I've got a mate that lives here on the Gold Coast and he works in Brisbane, that's 180 Ks round trip.
Yeah.
Every single day, Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
So, Carl, if you're listening, download and don't forget the code MDH TechKnowledgy and I'll give you $1. And that's $1 you can take off whatever I owe you at the pub. So there we go. Shouldn't be talking about booze and cars and the same thing. So Josh, how long have you been going, mate? How long has My Drive Hero been around? Where are we? How are we growing?
Yeah, so we spent quite a few years in R&D, and that was mainly Rick, massive. I always, anyone who knows Blake and myself knows that we kind of give Rick his flowers. It really was. They spent a long time in R&D, and he went back and forth trying to get this going. And Blake and I came on board and said, all right, this is how we're doing it. Let's bring it through. So we've been live for about 3 years now.
Okay.
But prior to that, we spent about 4 to 5 years in R&D. So really kind of working out all the kinks.
Wow.
And the algorithm and a whole bunch of things you see within the app, that's all our own IP. And we spent the time to kind of build that. And over our 3 years also, we've tried a lot of different things. I think a big part of, building something, running an app more than anything else really with tech that I feel like is just got to be comfortable to try, fail fast, fail hard, on to the next. So when we first launched My Drive Hero, it was points, and it was points for nothing. It was literally like, we don't even know what the points are going to do yet, but here's points for your driving and we'll hit you back. Then we did points for like kind of different types of like coupons and entries into giveaways and things like that. And then we just listened to the users, and the users were like, we just want cash. Just give us cash. Don't make it all complicated and everyone else, and the cost of living is going up, and if we can help with that, like I said, on average, our users get that between $20 to $30 a mark, unless they win some giveaways. And at the end of the year, you're looking at like, that could be anything from like, $400, $500, $600 at the end of the year.
I mean, if you keep it monthly, right?
Yeah.
$20 is half a tank of petrol.
Yeah.
On a mid-sized car.
Yeah. So,
you're driving anyway.
Exactly.
So
you're driving anyway. You might as well get something for it. And then
Yeah.
again, like, our costs they're so minimal. It's $5 a month on your monthly, or it's like, $59.95. I'm pretty sure on your yearly, something around that.
Yeah.
Mark.
512s are
60.
yeah.
Something around about that. $59.95 or $7.99 a month. If you're getting, your $300, $400, $500 in the year, you've more than paid it back.
Yep.
And again, like, it's just something you're driving anyway. If you're driving anyway, why not? And then at the same time, get the chance to drive a little bit safer and save some lives,
Well, I think just from that point of view, that brings me to another question. Is there an opportunity, like if a corporate wanted to sponsor or, like a third party wanted to say, oh, we want to put our whole team on this, we'll pay the annual fees. I mean, effectively, it's a good investment from a company. Are there these type of programs or?
Yeah, 100%. So we've got a couple that are in their testing phase. We're currently working with a few brands in Brisbane, and we're looking to work with a national brand. And very much exactly what you said. We're looking to bring on all their staff because they have a whole bunch of problems with regional driving as well.
Yep.
And bring them on. They'll pay that fee. We'll get them all out. And it just really changes the safe driving conversation from it being a thing on currently on a lot of businesses. It's a negative conversation. Oh, we caught you speeding here. Or we did this and that. Let's get a leaderboard going. Let's get the safest driver. Let's kind of give them something rather than hurt those that are being unsafe. And we're currently doing something actually with the Storm, where we've got the players and the staff competing against each other, currently looking at like who's the safest player.
Are you allowed to share that data? Because that's going to be scary. I'm sure.
we haven't got it. We haven't got it like for the public, but it's definitely something we're looking at, and we're currently running with the Melbourne Storm. Part of working with them has been that, and we're able to kind of really look at it and be like, and some of the boys, especially the players, have really gotten behind it, which has been really exciting to see.
That's good, because I'm sure without being monitored or checked, it'd be interesting to see how many points they had before they started.
Yeah.
And,
Exactly. So, those types of things are definitely something that like it's on our roadmap to get out more. But really, we're the type of business, like, here's all the things we can do, but let's really knuckle in on the 5 or 6 things that kind of get us to that next level and the next level and keep on growing.
That's awesome. So speaking of growth, 2 questions. One, what's the international opportunities looking like, if any? I'm assuming it's only Australia at the moment.
Yes. Yeah, it is. But we are looking to go international. That is something, it is on our roadmap.
Okay. And then, what's the growth pains? Do you need a raise? Do you have to bring in investors? Are you bootstrapping?
Yeah, we have a couple of investors, but we are about to start quite a large raise. We're looking really to, basically what we've done now is we've proven it works. We know our numbers, we know our metrics, we know what it looks like when we get 20,000 new users. How many of those are going to stay? What are all those things going to kind of convert into? And so now we're really looking to scale. We want to go from 30, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100,000 monthly active users.
Yep.
And once we've done that, then we're going to look to grow and go international. We're already having some chats with some companies overseas around like what it potentially looks like. But really, let's hurry slowly. Let's get through Australia first, get the guys on board, and then we go from there.
I just want to stay with the international at the moment because, on my show, I have a lot of international listeners as well. Sometimes it's a good thing or a bad thing because I get a little bit of hate messages afterwards. Oh, saw this awesome product or this awesome app and tried to download it and couldn't find it. Sorry, sucks being you. Move to Australia. But, it does go the other way as well. When I've seen stuff and I've wanted it and it's like, sorry, move to America. I would assume it wouldn't be hard to go international, right? I mean, it's just a case of finding local sponsors or local relevance or maybe language changes. But to me, this is a no-brainer. It's, people drive badly all over the world. It's not just here.
100%. Like the scalability of the app is huge. And we've already run tests and things like that overseas. And the app works and things like that over there. So
that's really exciting.
Yeah, it really is. We're looking to do this raise. We're aiming for 1.5 so we can really just lock in and get a mass amount of users here, conquer this, and then we'll go international from there.
Well, I just saw a report come out I think it was this morning on LinkedIn about the amount of money that's flowing here on the coast from investment point of view. So I mean, Brisbane, you're our little brother up the road, but there is money in Queensland. There are investors in Queensland, hands down. You know, so I don't know if it'll be too hard to find. It doesn't sound like you're going for a huge rate, so I wish you lots of luck on that.
Thank you.
I have been scrolling along the screen, the website. It's mydrivehero.com.
Yeah.
Anything else, anywhere else that people need to go to find you?
No, I mean, you can go to my LinkedIn if you have any questions or things like that. But yeah, it's just My Drive Hero. We're My Drive Hero on the App Store, on the Play Store.
Okay.
You know, get into the app, get on board. We've also brought on we're bringing on more of these direct partners alongside the cash cards, and that's our hope for, you know, Coles, Woolworths. If anyone's listening and you're from these big brands, we want to bring you deeper. We really want to bring you kind of further within the ecosystem. But just a massive shout out to Australian Rewards Club. They've been one of our first kind of big partners to come on board direct. And now you can also redeem your cash for entries into their giveaways. So they just gave away 60 grand. They're giving away brand new cars every month as well. So there's a whole bunch of different ways. And we're really trying to expand that cash ecosystem where you could redeem it for a KO subscription, or you could redeem it for this, or you could redeem it for that. So any of those other big brands out there, if you're looking for different ways to grow your user base, hit me up.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I've put a link up on our website as well. So again, if you haven't been listening, writing down, or you come after the show, a lot of the listeners do after we go live. Just go over to the techknowledgy.com.au. There is a link there that will go through to My Drive Hero. And remember, Joshua and Rick and I forgot your third part. Blake are giving you $1 if you use MDH Technology on your signup. So there we go. Mate, it's amazing how quickly these shows go. And this is why I have to always change the format. People are like, oh, you don't talk about games anymore. You don't. It's like, I do, but this is more interesting. Like, I don't get a chance to get guests. And now all of a sudden, I think I'm 3 for 3. My last 3 shows, I've had a guest in studio, which has been amazing. But unfortunately, we pretty much are. We're at the end. So I guess that's about it. I think from your side, we've shared everything. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. I do appreciate it. No, absolute pleasure, mate. And until next time, keep your screens clean.